Unsyndicated presents Off the Air with Sean Baligian.
Everything well.
You say it wasn't even unmuted. You were just ready. You were raring to go.
I don't know. You know what's funny? A lot of times you think about some of the things that you talk about, like the things that you do, like I've come to grips with them. I've done some weird things. I'll leave that. But a singing fish on your wall is just that is just, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know, like, who thought that'd be a good idea to get, I'm going to put a singing bass on my wall.
So can I tell you a story about that?
Oh, boy, yes.
So when I was a child, I have a younger brother. I have a younger brother and a younger sister, but my younger brother wanted one of those for his birthday. Okay?
Yeah.
And this is when they were at like their peak. Like everyone wanted the singing bass. And I don't know why, but my brother wanted one. My grandparents got him one, but they got him the catfish version with the whiskers and everything. He opened it up and started crying immediately. He was terrified of it. And he was like maybe 3 or 4 and was just terrified. And that memory of him opening that thing is so ingrained in my brain. Just absolutely horrified of this singing catfish.
Would you like me to get you a singing thing?
I think I need some more things for behind me now that I've rearranged. So I think that would be a nice touch.
I love Blomo time. I still love Blomo time and Tony the Tiger Romo. They're already starting it with you and Tony Romo.
That when we did that episode, that feels like it was a month ago.
It really does. No, I'm with you. Just there's been so much going on. I mean, not only here, but like in life and everything. And you have been a busy beaver, kind of redoing the house and everything. How's your room coming? It's
completely gutted down to the studs now, and we're putting up drywall Sunday. So I'm redoing some electrical tomorrow. Might as well while the walls are open. And then, putting up drywall Sunday. So it'll be very nice. That room, it needed it badly.
Good.
This house was built in the 1940s, so it needs some work.
Just seen Blake with Romo in a Volkswagen.
At least it wasn't a Mazda Miata.
Listen, Blake and Romo stuff is just outstanding. I mean, it's just an outright lie, and I think that's what makes it so beautiful. You know, he openly admitted, I don't like that guy.
I legitimately hate him, and here we are.
So stupid.
He's got such a dumb face too. He's got the dumbest face.
Dumb face. That's exactly it. All right. So not only have you been doing all that, but you told me you won a natty. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations are in order. I won a national championship on my route to it. I beat Utah, and then
playoff.
Yeah, beat Utah in the first round of the playoff.
All right.
I of course earned the bye, and then I played. Who did I play in the second game of the playoff? I don't even remember because that was like 3 nights ago now. And then I beat Ohio State in the national championship.
Was it a good game?
I was down 14-0 early in the first quarter. Had to make a comeback.
Oh, no kidding.
But we got it done. You know, just recruiting my ass off.
David said CFB 25 is the real deal. The game is really good. Is it near the top? Like for you guys, seriously? Like I'm going to eventually get it. I am, and I know how I am. I'm the type of person. It always seems like I'm late to the party, but like once I'm in, I'm in.
Well, you have to get a new PlayStation.
Yeah, because No, don't we have the 5?
No, you have a 4.
Is that what we have? Are you sure?
Yes,
I,
I've
I
seen it.
thought. Okay, I thought we had the 5. Oh,
No,
okay.
you have a 4. So you gotta get a new PlayStation or Xbox, and then you can get the game.
All right. You know what? I'll tell my kids. Like literally. Okay, guess what you're getting for Christmas?
Yeah.
But Dad, I don't want that. Well, you're getting it for Christmas. Santa told me. He already told me that's what he's getting.
Get to California with him.
Yeah, that's my greatest fear is that especially like with his job too, is like he's just not going to be able to come home for a long time and everything. So I'm going to have to watch that like a hawk so he doesn't try to snake it back and everything. So 36 days to week 0 though. That's a good thing. And I'm telling you, it can't come quickly enough because what was it? Was it yesterday morning? What was the morning where it was unbelievable? Was it Wednesday or Thursday? I don't know. All the days run together.
Yeah, yesterday was a cooler day, so I'm
Loved
assuming
it.
it was yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Like when I got up in the morning, I have this tradition, the dog and I, you've been over the house, the back porch. Come on, that thing's money. And
Mhm.
we go sit on the back porch, right? And literally, Blake, I had to grab my best friend from about the 3rd week of September until the 2nd week of March, Blanky. Like literally, I had to grab Blanky. I was like, am I coming down with something? And then I looked and the stupid, temperature on the house said like 53. And I'm like, there's no way it's 53. I look on my phone and they're like, oh no, it's 54. So Blanky came over. It was awesome.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I love Blanky. Blank. When Blanky starts showing himself more often, it's football season. You
Yeah.
know, it is football season. David said, "You ain't late. You just got to get there." That's exactly it, no doubt. Tony loves cooler days. It does make for snuggling. There's no doubt. It does.
I can't with this. This is
Well,
the worst bit I've fallen into ever.
is it safe to say this is like one of the most anticipated like falls in a long time?
Yeah.
Like if maybe ever. Because I think if you look, I'm so ready for pigskin and pizza. Amen, Joe. If you look at, I mean, the Lions in my lifetime, there isn't a more anticipated season. There just isn't.
Mhm.
Even 92. This is the most anticipated season we've ever seen. Michigan is still interesting. There's no doubt about that. There's a heck of a lot of talent. I mean, what I think should be a really good defense. Dare I say the E word, elite. Some questions offensively. Obviously, I think the first one starts at quarterback. And Michigan State, how quickly are they able to get the stank of last year off them? So, like across the board, Blake, like I am so fired. I've probably said this before, but I'll say it again. I'm really more excited about this year than I think in years gone by. I really am. I'm more excited for this than in years gone by.
I agree. And I think like from your perspective, I think you have like things to look forward to with Michigan State, which last year you didn't have that at all.
No,
And then obviously like going into the season there was a lot of hype for the Lions, but it was unknown hype. This year there's a lot of knowns. There's still some unknowns, but it's a different level.
I agree. Man,
It's so
dude,
different.
I totally listen. I don't care what anybody says. And I don't think people are going to get as pissed at me for saying it now as when I said it even a year ago, okay? Don't give me any of that 9-8 bull crap unless you make some wild run in the playoffs like the New York Giants did. I don't care about Jim Caldwell and 9-7. I don't care about just making the playoffs. I'm sorry. I was sick of it then. I'm sick of it now. It was people celebrating mediocrity. It was. And it was funny because if I said that a year ago, I would say 95% of Lion fans would be mad at me and call me a hater and all of that crap. But now that they went like this last year, Blake, not only had the season that they had, but won the 2 games in the playoffs and came this close to making it to the Super Bowl, I think everybody would say the same thing. So to your point, coming off a 9-8 season, did we expect better? Well, yeah, but I don't think it's the same as when there was better. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're coming off a year where there's no think involved. We know exactly what this team is, and we know exactly what they need to do to take the proverbial next step.
You were one half away from a Super Bowl.
Still infuriating. I still that third quarter. That third quarter, dude, just absolutely disgusting. David said the 12 team pulls so much variables out that can go down. Joe said, I'm worried about my expectations. The Lions team is awesome on the surface, but we got away with very few injuries last year. That's one thing you can never, ever account for. I'm with you.
Yeah.
And much like Joe, I think you and I are old enough to remember what happened in 92. We were so excited about 92. And you lose Utley, obviously, in 91, one of your starting offensive linemen, done for the rest of his career. I mean, God bless him, the man was paralyzed. And then you lose another starting offensive lineman to the most incredible, mind-blowing, freakish thing ever. I mean, I still think about it. Blake, I'm not joking. 32 years later, dude's in his front yard, and a guy falls asleep in his truck and runs him over. Like, are you kidding me? And it's interesting because I don't care what anybody says. I'm not trying to make excuses or anything like that. Think about this team right now and how much we like this offensive line. Can you imagine taking 2 pieces off this offensive line right now?
No.
No.
It would put it right into the middle or lower half of the league.
Easy. You lose 2/5, man.
Yeah.
2/5. Tim said, no, we didn't expect better than what happened last season. We got the bonus plan. Hey, dude, I openly admit it. How many times did I say it to you, Blake? Win the division, win a playoff game.
Yeah.
That was win the division, win the playoff game. That's what I wanted. They gave us 2. No, you're right, Tim. Todd said, are Lion fans going to be patient enough to wait 2 years? What if we get one more W in the regular season but get bounced in round 2? Not good enough, or do we trust the long-term vision? That's a great question because I in my mind, Todd, I think people in this town are stuck on series of steps, and it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't always work that way. I think the best thing that Brad Holmes could have done is set this team up for long-term success. But I say this all the time, and it's my job. All right. Blake, who would have thought 5 years ago that Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills would have just gone stagnant?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they're rebuilding on the fly, but they're doing it.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I want to get into some college football stuff in just a second, but obviously, Blake, congratulations on your
on my national championship. Yep.
Can I ask you this before I tell you about some of our friends? And I need you to answer me 100% honestly, and I'm going to ask the people in the chat as well.
Okay.
What is more annoying? The guy who tells you his video game exploits or the guy that has to pontificate about his fantasy football team? What is more annoying? Now, be honest.
That's really hard. They're both really bad.
I know you're doing it tongue in cheek, okay? But
yeah.
as you know as well as I do, some of these guys just start like rambling, and it's like,
I think it's fantasy guy because that's like it's almost more mainstream. Like everyone plays fantasy, but not everyone plays fantasy together.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't care about your team with your other, like I have a buddy that's in a fantasy league with like other friends. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. I hope he's in the chat so that he knows from now on. But like,
what do you think of my draft? It's awful.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Dude, you didn't even look at it. I know it's awful because you're awful. Yeah, I mean, like,
You don't know ball.
You don't know ball. I love that line. You don't know ball.
But like, I think video games, it's just different because like with video games, everyone can have like separate experiences. So
Right.
it's a little, but it's still annoying. Like
The one thing we can all agree on is the computer at times cheat. Sometimes it cheats. There's no debate about that. Video games. All my friends play fantasy football, so we're sharing from the same pool of players. Video games. If I'm not playing the specific game, I don't have a damn clue what you're talking about. Yeah, gamers can be truly obnoxious. Boy, most guys are saying video game guy. Most guys are saying video game guy.
that's fine. Can we all just agree they're both very annoying?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt. You know who isn't annoying? Boy, is that a cheesy radio tease.
I like it.
You know who isn't annoying? Let me tell you about my friends at the Wealth Advantage Group. If you are ready to take charge of your financial future, look no further than the Wealth Advantage Group. Located in historic downtown Northville and owned by those guys, the Hanson brothers, with over 20 years of industry experience. They understand that your financial goals are as unique as you are, and that's why they offer personalized expert guidance to help you navigate the complexities of financial planning. Now, whether you're saving for retirement, getting ready to sell your company, already in retirement, they can help guide you through every step of your financial journey. They work with clients throughout all stages of life, and they have clients in over 20 states. The investment world is a complex one. So if you're ready to start taking your finances more seriously, it might be time to work with the experts. Give my friends a call. The Wealth Advantage Group, 248-773-8574. That's 248-773-8574. Or you can visit their website at www.thewealthadv.com. So good stuff there. Blake, I'm not joking. Mike and I were talking yesterday about the barbecue that we're going to put on. Tigers are winning, by the way. Again, 3-0. So Mike and I were talking about the barbecue that we're going to put on for week 0. So I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. Okay. Just so you know, I'm not allowed to talk about it, but Florida State, Georgia Tech at noon. So I'm going to ask you guys to be over at about 11:30. I'm going to have to do the layered smoke. Do you know what the layered smoke is? I'll put something on probably about 6:00 the day before, and then I'll put something on at like probably noon. And then when I wake up, 5, 6 in the morning, whatever the case may be, I'll put something on there. So it's called the layered smoke. And then I will give you one thing. I'm going to fill the smaller smoker. We're going to try to fit about 150 wings on there.
Oh my God.
So good times.
No boneless, right?
I still can't. I can't. Yeah, I don't think I could smoke boneless wings. I don't think that would work. I don't.
No, I agree. Actually,
would you eat regular wings? Would you like eat regular wings? I know you like boneless better.
I've had regular wings at your house.
You don't have to yell at me. Everything comes back to anger and yelling. Jeez.
Even though your food sucks, I've still ate it. Like it's fine.
Jason said odds on Blake creating a quarterback recruit named Tony Romo, and that being his next Wolverine quarterback. You were bragging that you're like number 2 in the nation in recruiting.
Yeah,
right?
I had the number 2 class.
You can't beat James Franklin. You cannot beat James Franklin.
Penn State had the number 1 class. I had the number 2 class. Penn State brought in like 5 5-stars. It was insane. James Franklin's just throwing bags at everyone. I didn't know what to do.
It's coaching genius. I mean, everybody knows coaching genius when they see it, right?
That's true.
LSU is no joke in the game. Yeah, I'm surprised. You. I know. I mean, obviously, Michigan's your team. I'm surprised you didn't, screw around and try to do something with LSU as well.
I probably will at some point. It's still we're not even a weekend yet. I got plenty of time. No, my next. So I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do 4 years of this one, get through a full cycle with Michigan, see what I can do, And then I want to start with like some Sun Belt team and like build my way up to like a really good job. Maybe land at LSU.
This is weird. This is just out of the clear blue sky, but just like having this conversation, if you were to pick your favorite non-big team, and everybody knows he's a Michigan guy, I'm a Michigan State guy, but if you had to pick your favorite non-big team, would it be LSU?
Yeah. It's tough though, because I really hate Brian Kelly. I really do.
Dance is still one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
I hate him so much. Like another guy with a dumb face.
Yeah.
He gets so angry on the sidelines. It's hilarious.
Nate, I found out the hard way that it's not available for the PS4. That comes from Nathan. Missouri this year. David, see, I had a little fling with Missouri for a while when my boy Gary Pinkel was there. I was a big Missouri guy. I've said this to people for years. When I was a kid, I loved the U. I'm not even joking. They were the ultimate bad guys. They really were, with the dry ice and the attitude. Like they were the ultimate bad guys. But I have a soft spot in my heart for Ole Mills, but I feel the same way about that situation as you do with BK at LSU. It's like Lane Kiffin's it. Come on. Like I loved Ole Mills. I'm not joking. It was like one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. It's just unbelievable down there. But it's Lane Kiffin, dude. Like, come on. Like, no.
They should be really good this year, though.
They should be really good this year. Lane will screw it up, though. You know as well as I do. It's what he does.
He'll throw his headset down like all cocky.
It's what he does. It's like I saw that back and forth that he had with what's his name? Feinbaum. I saw that back and forth where he was complaining about how Feinbaum was so negative on him and said that, he's out of touch and blah, 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 and all that stuff. I couldn't tell if it was bit or it was real. And then it kind of seemed like it was real because he didn't quite blame Feinbaum for his firing, but he said, well, I know our AD and president were watching when you were ripping on me and everything. And like, if I'm Feinbaum, I go, and that's my fault. How?
Yeah.
Like you were a disaster. There was nothing on your resume, like nothing on your resume. And yet people were putting this guy in a pedestal. I didn't, for the life of me, I didn't understand it, I don't know, whatever.
If there was one school that you wish was back, who is it? Is it the U for you? Because mine is Tennessee.
I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I think Miami's going to be really good this year. So if you guys want to make fun of me, you go right ahead. But I want you to all to remember that, because I don't think at the end of the year you're going to be making fun of me, especially after they win the ACC. I don't think any of your – I said what I said. Is that what you kids say today?
No, isn't – wait.
That's what I said.
Do you think that they're going to be that good, or is it just the ACC is down?
Both.
Okay.
Both. But if you win your conference, I'm sorry, I'm never going to be a hypocrite. If you win your conference, tip of the cap. You know what I mean?
Unless you're Florida State, and then you don't make a play.
Gosh, that's a good. When I was a kid, I hated Don James in Washington because it just seemed like they always won the Rose Bowl. So I hated, and then it was funny when I worked with Gary Pinkel. All he did was talk about what a great guy Don James was. So it kind of changed my perspective. Tennessee was pretty cool. Like
Tennessee, when they're rolling, like that fan base is awesome, and that stadium, they just play Rocky Top every 10 seconds. I like when Tennessee's good. I think they're a fun program.
Yeah. Aren't Lane Kiffin teams supposed to be good every year, like Tennessee and Notre Dame? The Lane Kiffin balloon was burst a few years ago. I don't have any other way to say it. And I'm not joking. And I know a lot of you guys could remember this. I was screaming at anybody that would listen like 10 years ago. Somebody point this out to me. What am I missing? And I would tell people, like, Google is your friend. Go look what he did as the Raiders head coach. Go look what he did in his. There's nothing there. What did he go 7-6 at Tennessee, and his high water mark at USC was the year they were on probation. It was like there was nothing there, and people were talking about this guy like he was the nation's next big coach, and it blew my mind. I mean, what am I missing? You know?
And then all the drama with Alabama.
Yeah.
Like, but he had good offenses. He's just not he's not a great head coach.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. Let me read some of these comments. Somebody said something.
Wait, well, before you read comments, Todd made something, and I know it's going to be mean towards me, but I know it'll make you happy. So
All
just,
right,
Todd, put it on the screen.
Let's see.
Todd said that's a rendering of my 6-star recruit on NCAA. Best prospect since Milky Waters.
Nathan said, if I could play, I'd roll with Arizona State. I always wanted to go there and play baseball, but again, found out the hard way. I didn't have D1 talent. For some reason, they're still my B team to this day. I don't understand why they haven't had more success over the years. It just seems like one bad hire after another, right? It just does. I don't get it. No hitter for Flaherty was broken. My favorite non-big team was Georgia till a friend of mine jumped from Michigan to Georgia when he moved there. And now he only says, you don't know football, regardless of anything I say. Screw them now. The SEC arrogance, you guys, wait till you go down there. It is so real. It's insane. I'm not joking. If you guys haven't been down there, the SEC arrogance is so real. It's insane. And I'm not talking about just our teams are better than yours, but we're just dumb Yankees. You know, we don't know the game, et cetera, et cetera.
Is that at every SEC school, or is it only at like the good ones? Because like I would love to hear an Arkansas fan tell me about football.
So it's interesting. Okay, so Arkansas almost struck me. I'm going to give you a real quick breakdown of what I found. Arkansas was kind of like old money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like just old money. Like, no offense. You know what? A lot of times, like a lot of the people at Michigan games, you know, big donors that go, maybe don't make a heck of a lot of noise. There's, you know, a lot of old money and old Razorback pride and everything. Ole Miss were the nicest people before the game. And then once the game started, they were vile, evil, mean, horrible creatures.
Okay.
Mississippi State was different. That's all I'll say. It was different. Do you know about the city at all? It's not exactly, you know,
Stark Vegas.
Yeah. It's not exactly Stark Vegas. Florida was a party. Georgia was a party. There was a lot of old money at Georgia, though. A lot of old money at Georgia.
How far is Athens from Atlanta?
I don't even know. I have no idea. Be honest with you, I'm a couple hours, maybe.
Let me do some research.
I think a couple hours. Flaherty doing his best to be put on the trade block tonight. It's got to come. I mean, I think you're kidding yourself. It's got to come. I mean, absolutely, it's got to come. I mean, they why would he resign here? A couple hours, Blake? Is it a couple hours?
It's hour 18.
Yeah. And then who might Vandy was awful. Just awful.
Did they even have fans?
No, it was terrible. It was across the board.
It's incredible seeing like other SEC teams just take over that stadium.
It was terrible.
But that's right in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
Like, is the area around it cool at least?
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah. Kentucky's like right off the highway, as I recall. And we actually went to a Kentucky Louisville game, so the atmosphere was really cool. That was like that was a really cool thing. So, but there's a snobbery there. There's a snobbery there, and like I would always talk to people, and like it came up a few times. I'm a Heisman Trophy voter and everything, and of course, I had to vote for the boys from the SEC. Tim said Scooble to Baltimore. I've heard those rumors as well. If Holiday is part of the deal, I'm more open to that because he's a major league ready guy. I know that he was called up and he kind of struggled, but this isn't a wait 2 years or 3 years type of situation. This is a guy, especially with a team like Detroit, you could come him up and let him, kind of break his teeth. You know what I mean? Like honestly, I think there's a difference between, the deep prospects that are going to take 2 or 3 years and a guy who's ready to go. But if that rumor is true and they're giving up 2 high prospects and Holiday, a guy that, is ready for the major leagues now, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Eric said, Sean, is this a lion shirt? No, it's Tommy Bahama. Is that what it's called?
Living that beach life.
One
That's
day.
you.
One day. One. I'm telling you guys.
Well, if everyone would subscribe on YouTube, we could get there quicker.
Right? Yeah, we could speed that up. Let me tell you about Legacy. Did you know that thousands of Metro Detroiters have already called Legacy Partners to get help with their home and auto insurance? Our friends at Legacy are one of Southeast Michigan's top independent insurance agents, and they provide a full-service, one-stop solution for all of your insurance needs, personal and business, large and small. I'm telling you guys, they work wonders for my family. They'll work wonder for your family as well. It's about giving your family the best coverage you can get and saving you money. That's what Legacy does because they help our listeners by fixing mistakes that other agents have made, asking the right questions to get the right coverage put in place to properly protect you. Did I mention save you money? Yeah, they do that as well. Chances are, if you haven't checked your policies in the last year, you're paying too much and you could be underinsured. What are you waiting for? Do yourself a favor. Get that quote. Give them a chance. Our friends at Legacy Partners to help with your home, your cars, life insurance, Medicare enrollment, business insurance needs. Call them today at 586-209-4106. That's 586-209-4106. Or visit legacypartnersins.com to get started with your new quotes. You will be very, very, very glad you did. Did you see this this list from the AP, the top 25 greatest programs ever?
Yes.
And it was based on a formula developed by College Football News using every final AP top 25 poll since 1936. Do you want me to go through the whole top 25?
Yeah, because 25 is my favorite.
I'm going to do it. Iowa.
That's the perfect place for Iowa.
Kirk Ferentz, baby. I told you weren't around, but I know my generation could tell you. Hayden Fry had a couple of wagons in the mid 80s. He really did. Like that team in 85 was number one a majority of the year. He had some wagons. He really
Kirk has had some wagons too.
Well, they just can't finish.
No, well.
They just can't.
But like that team, like the team that MSU played in the Big Ten championship, like that was a really good team. They've always had really good defenses. It's just nowadays they can't play offense to save their lives.
Can I tell you that story? I know I talk so much about 2013. Can I tell you the 2015 story? I like to be alone when I watch games. I think you know that. But my son had a bunch of his friends over, and they were all Michigan State fans. And when Michigan State got the ball back, they were all sitting in the room like this, like crapping themselves, right? And I literally walked in the room. I looked at the kids. I go, "You guys can go now. The game's over." And they're like, "Oh, you think they're gonna lose?" And I was like, "No, this game's over. Michigan State's gonna win this game." What are you talking about, Mr. Baligian? You know, they're like, I don't know, 13, 12 or whatever at the time. And so they think I'm the smartest guy in the room when 8.5 minutes later, they score on the touchdown. But and Blake, I remember texting my buddies going, this is what Mark D'Antonio did everything for, to be in a position like this. That offensive line, those running backs against this team, that game was over. You knew it as well as I did. I remember watching it. It was just like, how long will it take before they get in the end zone? And I mean, that drive was unbelievable. Let's be honest. But poor little Iowa. Number 24, Ole Miss. Ole Miss.
I don't know why they're on there, but okay.
Well, they had some banner teams years ago. Number 23, Wisconsin. I think people around here kick Wisconsin too much. I've said it for years.
Wisconsin is an incredible program.
What Barry Alvarez did there, I mean, 30 years ago was unbelievable. I mean, you can't deny that. Number 22, Washington. Now, remember, again, this was a program that in my lifetime, a couple different times was national champion caliber stuff.
In the 90s, they were incredible, weren't they?
Late 70s as well. A couple really good teams in the 80s, but that 91 team was absurd. Like that, they co-national championship with the U. Number 21, the 12th man, Texas A&M.
They tried to buy themselves up further on the list, but they just couldn't get it. But they tried. I think A&M actually is in a really good spot now.
Yeah, I'm going to be intrigued.
Elko's a really good coach.
Yeah. Number 20, Arkansas.
Big Suey.
Again, years ago. Number 19.
Wait,
yeah.
Real quick. I don't. You know what's crazy about Arkansas? They're on this list. I don't think they've ever won the SEC.
How are that nuts?
Like at least since that they've gone to the championship game, I don't think they've won the SEC.
Yeah,
they never will.
David said with Brunell and the wide receivers stacked at Washington in 91, that team was awesome. They had two quarterbacks that went to the NFL, and Steve Entman, who, while he never translated in the NFL, he was a beast on the defensive side of the ball. He really was. That was a stacked team, that Washington team. They really were. Number 19, Michigan State.
Congrats.
Yeah. Number 18, UCLA. Number 17, Clemson. Now, can we say this? I'm old enough to remember when Danny Ford won in 81, and obviously we know what Swinney did. Do the national championships make them go like that a little bit?
Yeah, because how many years is that? 3, where they ended number 1. That really brings you up a lot.
I think it should. Along those lines, the U, it's 16. And I know the U was nothing really before Howard Schnellenberger in 83, but not only what they did in the 80s, but a little bit in the 90s. And then again, if you remember with Butch and Butch got him kind of going, but my goodness gracious, those two teams in a row, 01, 02 were sick. Ohio State pulled the upset.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't that also count for both Butch and Larry Coker? Larry Coker, those teams were sick.
But the thing with Miami is when they're bad, they're really bad.
I agree.
And that's why they're lower on this list, because their peak, they're right in the top 5, but then they have the years where and they're not in it.
That's why I say, like Clemson, shouldn't the Natties make them go up a little bit? I don't know. But again, in case you're just joining us, Bill just asked, this is the AP's top 25 greatest programs ever, based on a formula developed by College Football News using every final AP top 25 poll since 1938. Number 15. It's great to be a Florida Gator. Number 15, the Florida Gators. Number 14, Auburn. Number 13, Florida State. See, people forget again, like how many times Bobby Bowden choked back in the day. Like he really did. I mean, how many times did people say, dang nabbit, like Bobby Bowden, he's got the best team in the nation, and they choked so often.
Wide left, wide right.
Yeah. Georgia, number 12.
That's shocking. They should be higher.
I
I feel
think
like
so too. Number 11, LSU.
they also, I feel like, should be higher. Every 4 or 5 years they win an Natty.
How's this for a tease? We'll reveal the top 10 after we tell you about All About Catering LLC. All About Catering LLC is a full service caterer, graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events. How about a week 0 barbecue party? Anything you need catering for from 25 to 4,000 people, All About Catering will take care of you. Customer service and satisfaction is their number one goal. So don't sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today. Check out their menus and all their 5-star reviews. Give them a call, 586-731-1398 to get your event started. I personally vouch for Rick and his staff. They have done things for us. They will do things for you. So give them a shot. That's 586-731-1398.
Real quick, because I just thought of this,
Mhm.
and I saw somewhere on the internet a smoked mac and cheese bites, like in a smoker. Is there any way that can get added to the menu?
I don't know if I can do bites because to be honest with you, I wouldn't know how to bind it. Could I do a big tray in the smoker? Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know if I could pull off the bites. I got to be honest with you.
That's fine. I appreciate the fact that you know your limits.
The only thing I can think of is if I left them in the tray and I cut them about halfway through and maybe put like a toothpick or something in it. And then I could make like mini bites or something like that. But I wouldn't want to try to do it with the cornmeal or whatever the case may be to try to bind it. I personally, that's not
I would love some smoked mac and cheese. I know we're focused on the meats with this, but I would love some smoked mac and cheese. And if that can be added to the menu in any way, I would love that.
I can do that. Yeah. Tim said before Bobby, they were mediocre. Yeah. And I mean, again, like for me, they really, they were the poster child for gag, and then they finally beat Nebraska that one year and then obviously beat Frank Beamer when they went on that crazy run. But all right, top 10, you ready?
I'm so ready.
Tennessee, number 10.
Someone play Rocky Top right now. Good for them.
When good old Johnny Majors went there for a while. Penn State, number 9. Pretty hard to deny. Pretty hard to deny. I mean, it just
lots of top 10 finishes, but not the championships.
I know you haven't seen their history like I have, but I saw a couple of their championships growing up. Like they beat Bama the one year, and then they beat the U that one year, 14-7, when the U came in wearing the camouflage.
I forgot about that.
Tied for 7, the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
I love who they're tied with, though.
I've always wanted to go to Nebraska. Always. Like I've always wanted to go see a game there. I've been to Nebraska, but I've always wanted to go to Lincoln to see a game because that was, man, when I was a kid, that was like one of those, it just looked like a cool thing. And I told you, for me, Nebraska, Oklahoma was can't miss television. Like there was just something magical every year.
Does MSU have them this year?
Right off the top of my head, I don't think so. I'm not at the point yet. I don't know if you put the schedule to memory yet?
No, the game helped a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. Oh no, you know what? They might be later in the year now that I think about it. No, they're not. Rutgers, Purdue, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Iowa, Oregon, Ohio State, Boston College, Prairie View, Maryland, Florida Atlantic.
Maybe they have them next year.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yes. Hold on just a second. Let me get I lost my place, damn it.
Sorry.
Tied
Wait, they do have them next year at Nebraska. So
in Lincoln? Yeah.
Second to last game of the season, too.
Oh, look what he said. I like that. Jason said, smoke the mac and cheese in the smoker in a tray, then scoop it into balls, then bread and deep fry them. Problem solved. Like, see, no, I don't want to do that with the breading and everything.
Yeah.
Like, really, I don't. Like, Texas tied for 7. I have said this, and I hope some of my old friends are watching. I used to go on rants about Texas 30 years ago. They have traditionally been the most overrated by far in my entire lifetime. My entire I remember people dropping their pants around their ankles. They had this quarterback named Peter Gardier who was no good. He was just no good. And people were like talking him up for the Heisman. I have heard the same crap about Texas my entire lifetime. And that's what kind of sucks about Mac. Like really, Mac having the success that he did kind of ruined my bit. Because, they finally won. But, I mean, honest to goodness, more often than not. Now, in my mind, USC has had the title for the longest time now as being the most overrated. Every year somebody puts them in the top 10. Every gosh damn year somebody puts them in the top 10. And I'm like, dude, you want to win some money, bet on them being the team that flies out of the top 10. Speaking of USC, they come in at number 6. They come in at Tim said more than Notre Dame. Absolutely. Notre Dame has been to natties. Like,
got smoked in them, though.
You know what? I'd rather go to the natty than put up those 8-5 seasons that USC is known for,
Yeah.
So Notre Dame at 5, Michigan at number 4. I think that's fair, don't you? I think that's fair.
Especially for the run. I mean, the horrific things that I saw in my lifetime. Yeah.
All right. Eric just made me laugh out loud. He asked if Indiana Jones' hat was behind you on the wall.
I know.
And then Bill said, Blake, throw the idol to me. Now, you've seen Indiana Jones, right? Oh, see.
Look at you using your buttons. I'm proud of you. That was quick.
Bill, that was
really good.
Bill, that was Blakeiana Jones and the Romo of Doom. Oklahoma at number 3.
Okay. When was Oklahoma's last title?
2000? Was it the Josh Heupel year, right?
Yeah. So
I think 2000.
I don't know. I mean, it did make a lot of playoffs.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They made a lot of playoffs, so they would finish top 4 a lot.
Yeah.
So I guess, but
Ohio State number 2.
Overrated.
Of course you were going to say
Overrated.
that. Of course you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to. Overrated.
Pretty hard to deny. You got to put them up there. I know you're not. I know you're not going to say it. Alabama number 1.
Yeah.
How you?
Yeah.
Enough. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Are there any programs you're surprised aren't on that list?
That's a good question. I'd have to think. I'd have to rack my brain. No. Now that I'm thinking, no. The traditional powers in Florida all made it. I'm not putting anybody else from like the Big 8.
Tim has one that's good.
Who?
Oklahoma State. Or somebody said Oklahoma State earlier. I feel like Oklahoma State is always in the top 25.
They're always good. They're always good. Like you have to give him credit. He's done
consistently. They're in the top 25. They never have bad seasons.
Syracuse has fallen off so hard in the last 30 years. That's why I can't include them.
What about Minnesota?
No.
They were really good though for like a long stretch, right?
Yeah, but they've been less
really
than
not good.
So very long.
Yeah.
See, if I went conference by conference, there's nobody in the ACC. I can't look at any of those teams. And
No.
the old
Virginia Tech 10 years ago, yeah, but
Beamer did such a good job there. Like I have mad respect for what he did in Blacksburg. Like I'm not joking. But
Texas A&M is on there, Tim. They are number 21.
yeah. No, I can't.
No, it's a fair top 25.
I would say again, much like we were just talking about, maybe Syracuse lost their luster 25, 30 years ago. BYU was really good for a spell there, but then they kind of fell off. Like if you wanted to be cute, you could make an argument for BYU until their last, X amount of time. No.
Yeah, but even recently they've been like a top 25
Yeah,
team.
yeah. But
So
I mean, they were up there though. I mean, obviously they won the Natty the one year, but now there's nobody else. No. I mean, there's not. Is there a glaring omission to you?
No.
There's
not off the top of my head.
No, I can't. No. Somebody said Washington State. The Cougs have always been like this. They've always been like that. Like it seems to go like that. There's no kind of consistency there. They were really good when Ryan Leaf was there, and then they got good for a spell again, and then they got cute for a little while. They've just kind of always been just okay. Tim, Colorado's a really good suggestion. I think people forget.
I'm surprised Dion didn't pay to get on this list.
Boy, were they a monster.
Oh, Oregon.
Oh, yeah, Oregon. Yeah, how could we forget?
Was there, but like Oregon was not good
I'm looking. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Until the 90s, right?
Yes. How could I? Keely Smith. So it's been 25 years. Yeah,
Oregon being
I can't say that supplants Iowa or Ole Mills or Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
Well, yeah, and it's since 1936.
Yeah.
So
see, I can't say that.
You got to weigh that.
Yeah, I can't say that. All right, anything else before we get out of here, pal?
No, I don't think so. I mean, that ESPN list was crazy, but we can talk about that whenever. They made that list.
When do you want to do another
piss people off?
When do you want to talk? Sunday or Monday?
Not Sunday. I can't do. I'm not. I have to drywall Sunday.
Oh boy.
Todd has a thing in the thing. I don't know. He said in the private.
Right, let's see. I want to see. All right, there's a viewer poll. Are you guys ready?
Oh no. Todd, what are you doing? Make it stop.
Stupid. I love every second of it.
Oh, no.
Can you hear his voice? Oh my gosh.
Oh, Jim, I don't know, Jim.
Do your imitation. Do your imitation. I don't know, Blake.
I don't know, Blake.
Is that a hot dog? Or are you happy to see me, Blake?
No, Tony wouldn't even do that. He'd be like, "It's a hot dog or sandwich, Blake."
Oh, it's so stupid. Hey, when it's time to buy a house, sell a house, both, you need to get yourself the right agent. And the agent that I recommend, hold on a second, right there, Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business, and when it's time to move, her friend Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house, and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, first-time buyer, it matters not. Make sure you contact Lindsay at Broadwell.
Stop looking at the chat. Stop.
She will help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. You people are nuts. This Tony Romo stuff. Like, seriously, you guys Photoshop at will. You have my permission. Photoshop at will. Do your magic. Do your magic and post all these pictures like up on the Facebook and all that stuff.
It's insane though, because it's the one dude like I legitimately hate. I genuinely hate that man. He was a mediocre quarterback at best, and he's a horrible broadcaster.
Gosh, that is so good. All right, listen. Good luck to you this weekend. We'll try to
We'll
catch
do the ESPN list. We can do it Monday.
Yeah, let's do it Monday. In the meantime, Todd, thank you. Poor Todd. God bless him. He's been at the ballpark all day. So thank you, Todd. Thank you guys most of all. We'll talk to you soon. See you later. Bye-bye.
Off the Air with Sean Baligian, featuring Sean Baligian and Blake Majchrzak. Produced by Todd Losey and Blake Majchrzak. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Play It Loud by Jam Studio. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the unsyndicated podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Off the Air with Sean Baligian on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.